Well, hello everybody. I'm back again. We're down the home stretch of packing up the board games. I haven't been doing this every day, obviously, because I am working still. And I thought I'd go ahead, and I think I have enough boxes to box up the rest of the stuff. I have one large box for the larger games, which I'm going to show you first. And then I have 3 medium boxes, which I'm hoping is enough. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the big games first. And let's get right to it. Let's get packing. So the first game is going to be Ktel Superstar game. Now this game is very interesting. It is the original rock and roll music game. And in this game, you're trying to get gold records in this game. And let me show you. Here is what the board actually looks like. Woohoo! Yeah! If that isn't psychedelic, what isn't? So anyway, yes, you got fortunes in here. And it's pretty much a roll and move game. You do what it says. And it says gold records. So you're trying to collect as many gold records as you can before you're getting to the center. And yeah, it's a very interesting game. Let me show you what the gold records look like. See, here's the psychedelic money. You got 5,000, you got 10,000, you got 20,000, you got the psychedelic bills there. You also have, here are those cards, the fortune cards. That was a great idea. Collect 30,000. Your recent photograph in that magazine caused quite a sensation. Receive 500 proposing for it. That naughty dream came true. Lose 1 turn. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. And here are the little gold records that it comes with. And you can see here's a little gold record. Let me see if I can show. Whoops, this way. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to see if I can focus in. These are the gold records. This actually says gold record on there. So, but these are the little gold records that you're trying to get in the game. And here is the good old instructions. You can tell it's a little bit on the old side. Let me see, what year is this? 1973. So this is actually a year before I was born. But there it is. There is the Ktel Superstar game. All right. It's one of those obscure games you probably haven't even heard about. I actually got this in one of those, I buy a bunch of games from a person. It's like a lot. And this just so happened to be in the lot. I know it's missing a couple of those gold records in here. There's supposed to be a certain amount, and there's a few missing. But I can work with that. So anyway, that is the Ktel Superstar game. The next game is Cat's Mansion by Spears Games. This game was made in the UK, and I believe there is also a Canadian version. I think it's just called Cats. This is the UK version, and I was lucky enough to find a guy on Facebook Marketplace, one of my favorite places to go, for $5. If you look on eBay, these go for quite some money. It costs enough to ship, which is a lot more than $5 to ship. So, especially since most of these are all from the UK, you'll see United Kingdom, United Kingdom, United Kingdom. That's all you see. And in this game, what you're trying to do is you are given a card at the very beginning of the game, and each one of you is a cat, and you also have an item that you're trying to get to. And the items are like a pillow, a food bowl, a present, and I believe there's one other item on there. Where is it? There's one other, I don't think and the mouse. There it is. And you're secretly trying to get your cat to your item. But any player at any time can move any item. So you're trying to get there, and it's funny. But once you figure out who has what, then you know exactly what they're trying to do. Now, if you guess wrong, then you have to flip yours over and let everybody know, yeah, this is my cat, this is my item. And it makes it that much harder to try to get to your item because everyone knows which cat you are and which item you are. So that is Cat's Mansion. Let me show you. This is kind of cool. Here are the cats. Which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can show you here without tipping everything over. Here are all the cats in the game. You can see the 5 cats. There we go. That are in the game. And they're pretty cool little, it's really cool. I mean, they're really, really cool. And then you have the items. Like here's a little cat food dish. There's the mouse. There's a little present, because we all know cats love to go underneath the Christmas trees and mess up the trees and the presents. And then here's the pillow right there. And so, and here's the objects. So it actually tells you, let me show you here. Like it tells you, the greedy cat seeking the bowl, or this one is the curious cat seeking the present, the angry cat seeking the mouse, that kind of thing. So it shows you what cat you are and then the object that you're going for. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this on there. So that is Cat's Mansion by Spears Games. I've never heard of Spears Games before. So I'll go ahead and put that in the box. The next big one is the Disneyland game, Family Fun in the Magic Kingdom. This is one where you're going around taking photos of different attractions and whatnot. And I have done an episode on this, so if you're interested in finding out what this game is all about, I'm pretty sure I think I have an episode on this. And you see there's the game there when you're going around from land to land, and you have a certain time where the park closes. And so that's pretty cool. Whoever has the most photos wins. Next game is Smog, the air pollution game. This game is pretty interesting. I have not played this game yet. I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Where else, right? And in this game, you're trying to appease the people that live in the area by building the area, but then trying to keep the smog down. So it's very interesting, and I want to show you. This is the board. Kind of a plain board, actually. Very interesting, but then again, you're dealing with smog, so you can't expect a pretty board, I guess. But here's the area that you'd be building your community and the smog. And I wanted to show you, here are the smog lines. That's the smog. You got shorter ones, you got longer ones, depending on how much smog is in your area. Very interesting stuff. So anyhow, that is Smog, the air pollution game. I have not found much on that game. And I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was a marketplace deal. Okay. Good old-fashioned Payday. I don't think this needs any introduction. This was actually kind of a long box, so I wasn't able to fit it in the medium. So Payday. Don't even have to delve into that one. That's an easy one. Same with Gambler. A lot of people probably know what Gambler is. I believe I have done an episode on this. So if you're interested in finding out how to play Gambler, this is actually a pretty cool little game. When you go around, you do all sorts of different betting on things. You win, lottery. You got all sorts of different games that you play. They also had that little rattle thing that has the dice in it, which is really cool. It uses, instead of rolling dice, you use that for the dice, which I think is on the back here. Yeah, here's the Gambler thing right here. It has the dice, and you shake it up in here, and it comes down in here. So it's really cool how they do it. I guess the kid must have got involved in that. But anyway, that is Gambler. The next one we have is Ulcers. This is by Waddington Games. I don't think I have too many Waddington games. This might be the only one, or maybe one other one I have. And this is one that this is the hiring, firing business game, where you're trying to hire, I believe, a sales manager, a salesman, a chairman, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to put together a team for your business. But there's things along the way where you can actually steal an employee from another person to try to complete your business. Maybe you can lure them over like, hey, I'm going to pay you $50,000 a year, where they're only paying you $40,000 a year. Okay, come on over. So it's a really cool, that's why it's Ulcers, because you're trying to hire all the people that you need, and people keep taking them from you because they're paying more. Sounds familiar what's going on right now, huh? Hiring everybody, hiring everywhere right now. So this is a very interesting game here. But I have not done an episode on this yet, so once we get to Tennessee, I'll definitely want to pull this one out, because this one looks like a very fun game. I have not played it yet. There's a bunch of games I haven't played yet, just because of I just kept getting games and games and games and games and stuff. So, but anyway, this is Ulcers by Waddingtons. This next game is called Volunteers. This is by, let's see, Consumer Services, it looks like. The name of the game today, it's, let's see here. This is actually made in Beverly Street, Annandale, Virginia. This was made back in 1983. It's called Volunteers. Very interesting game. All right. Let's see what else we got in here that could fit in there. You know what? Let's go ahead and put Mousetrap in there. I think this is another one that needs no introduction. Good old Mousetrap. I remember I had this when I was a kid. Absolutely love this game with the contraptions and all that good stuff. So I know that one doesn't need any introduction. Good old Mousetrap. Awesome, awesome, fun game, especially with kids. Let's do Peg Poker. Peg Poker. It's the game that never gets put away. Oops, I guess I put it away. This is one that you roll these interesting looking dice. They're actually rectangular. And what you're doing is you have these sections on the board. Each one of them is the same. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the best. Like say you have a pair, 3 of a kind. What you do is you mark what you got. And I believe it's when you have 4 in a row of the highest whatever you rolled, like 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, straight flush. I believe it's 4 in a row. I haven't done an episode on that, and I'll be a little more detailed. But I think when you own 4 squares in a row with the highest whatever you rolled wins the game. So you got to pay attention to who's gaining what. And say this person has 3 in a row and he's going for, something else. You got to make sure you kind of get that square next to it and try to get the best of that. So say someone has a 3 of a kind with 3 5s, and then you roll 3 6s where you took over that square because now you have a better hand than that prior player did. Cool little game. The dice are definitely different. As you can see the dice up here, see they're kind of square, or actually kind of rectangular. And then you also have the special yellow die. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, really different game. If you love poker, this is a pretty cool game to do. And that's called Peg Poker. Okay, let's see what other big box I can put in there. Big travel. Travel. This was a hard one for me to find any kind of instructions on. I think finally somebody sent me some instructions, which I really appreciate. They had seen one of my newest editions, and I mentioned this game. I go, I don't know how to play this game. I bought it, or I found it, or something. I don't remember. It was a little while back. And I believe someone sent them to me, so yay. So now eventually I'll be able to do the episode on it. This is kind of like the bottom part of what the board looks like. But I wish I could tell you a little about it, but I got the instructions. I put them in there, but I have not yet played this game. But I just want to show you Travel. And this was a very hard one to find anything on. I was trying to find something on it, and it just doesn't even... I don't think it's even on Board Game BGA. I don't think it's even on there. So, I don't know. And let's see, I think I could fit maybe 1 or 2 more in there. I think, does this fit in there? Yes, she does. Doubles Wild, the fast-moving dice game that's fun for everyone. This is when you're trying to get certain colors in a row, and you roll dice. And really, really cool game. I'm trying to think if I've done an episode on this, and I'm not sure. I'll have to look back and see. But if I have, I know it's a fun game. I know I've this is actually pretty cool. And if I haven't, I promise I will be doing an episode on it later. And there we go. Doubles Wild. Let's see. Let's fit in there. Yeah, cool. Claustrophobia. This is a pretty cool little game. It's very, very different. Kind of hard to find. I can't remember where I bought this one from. I've had this one for a little while. Not too many videos on this one either. I know what is that? I'm trying to remember that YouTube channel. I can't think of the name of it. He actually had it on his channel. But here it is. There's Claustrophobia. You're trying to close in your other player by these little, I don't know, pylons, whatever you want to call them. You roll the dice and you move them in. You try to actually get the other player claustrophobic where they can't go anywhere. So very cool little game. It is by, who does this game? Skyline Toys. And this is an older game. Let me see, is there a year on this thing somewhere? They usually, you know what? They usually put a year on here. And let me open it up. Let me find out. Because I know this is an older game. Here's the board. Here's the board, what it looks like. So pretty cool. Here we go. Here's the instructions. It's just a 1-page, front and back. My goodness, they don't have a year anywhere. What is going on here? I cannot believe. Usually right in the bottom, manufactured. They don't even have the year. Well, my goodness gracious. I know it's on Board Game Arena, so I'll be able to find out what year it is. But I cannot believe they don't have any kind of year posted anywhere. Wow. Now that's kind of bizarre. Okay. All right. And I like the way this says this. Don't play it in the closet. Claustrophobia. That's pretty funny. Okay. So that is the first box. Well, that fit in there perfectly. Good deal. So you can see that box had a lot of unusual games that maybe some of you hadn't even heard of before. And I hope so. That made it a little more interesting episode. So I'm going to go ahead and seal this one up, and then we'll get to the medium boxes coming up next. Okay, let's continue on to our first medium box. Let's go ahead and keep on going. So we got the Faceless. This is a very interesting game where this one actually uses magnets. So you have this faceless creature trying to go after you, and your kids And what you do is you play the kids, and you're got dreams, and what this faceless guy is trying to get you. And you actually use magnets to move. You have the cards and you have magnets, and they actually move your players. It's a really, really interesting game. But anyhow, that's faceless. It's a big one, but it just does fit in there. Okay, let's see. Does this one fit in there? Yeah. You know what? I can get it to fit. Atrio Deluxe. This is one that's almost like you're trying to get 4 in a row, and it has to be on the same level, which is pretty cool. So you have different rings. You have an outer ring, a middle ring, and an inner ring, and you're trying to get them in a row. And I just noticed, I believe it was either a Target or Walmart, they actually have a smaller version of this instead of this big old box. So I was like, man, if I would have known that, because this one actually goes for, I mean, what is it? I think it's like 30, 40 bucks in the store. But I know that I just found a smaller version of it just yesterday when I was out and about. And I'm like, oh, man, if I would have known that, I would have got that one instead of this one. But I did buy this over at Savers. Oh, I was a good boy. I took off the price tag. All right, good deal. But it's Atrio. Okay. Push right in there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, then we have Tetris Link. Woo, got a lot of pieces in there. Tetris Link. You're actually playing Tetris, and you can see you have the little game over here. Actually, you can see it more on this side. And you slide down the pieces, and you're trying to score points while you're doing that against other players. So Tetris Link. Sounds like it's going to fall apart. Yikes. Then we got Summer Camp. Summer Camp, I literally just picked this up yesterday from Target. This looked like it was a lot of fun, and I believe it's exclusively at Target. When you're at Summer Camp, and you're trying to get merit badges along the way, and whoever gets, I think it's first player to get all the merit badges wins. And you have these little trails that you go through. And what's really cool, too, is all these cards here are all squares, and they're all individual. So you can flip them over. You can change the game all the time, so you can actually change it. The replayability is pretty darn good. And all the cards, you don't use all the cards in one game. They have different areas, let's see if it says on here. Adventure, arts and crafts, cooking, friendship, games, outdoors, or water sports. You choose 3 of those camp activities per game. So it's different every single time you play. So it looks like it's pretty fun. It's a summer camp. And I believe it's by Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo Games. Exclusively at Target. Casa Grande from Ravensburger. This one, where you're building buildings. You can see here, you're actually building all sorts of little buildings and stuff on there. And you roll the die, and you actually are using these pieces here to go to the 2nd floor, 3rd floor, and whatnot. So really interesting little game. You got your money on the side there. And it's Casa Grande from Ravensburger. I just like saying that. Casa Grande. All right. Can I put it this way? Yes. I can definitely put it that way. Perfect. Okay. Next one's Labyrinth. I believe I've done an episode on this. Labyrinth by Ravensburger as well. I love Ravensburger stuff. Love, love, love. I don't think this really needs too much of an introduction. So when you're trying to get these different... Here we go. You have cards that have all these different little items on there, and you're trying to get to that item by creating a path. And what you do is you slide a tile over and you try to get to it. I'm pretty sure I've done an episode on this. I'll double check. I know they have a Harry Potter one. They have a couple other ones too that look really cool, but this is definitely the original Labyrinth. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Next one, Risky Strategy. It's the game of campaign capers. This is one that's not one of those presidential ones where you're trying to become... A funny thing happened on the way to the White House, and you have all sorts of funny things going on there. And I have not done an episode on this. It's called Risky Strategy. Okay. Slide that in there. Okay. Next one we got. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we got... Let's do this one. Fortune 500, the business game. So fortunately, it's a pretty bland cover, but this is what the board looks like. All right, the game of business. Okay, so it is Fortune 500. And let's see what else we got. We got Ploy. One of the good old 3M games. Yes, he does look like Spock, doesn't he? Or maybe a little Chekhov too. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is a pretty cool little game too when you're trying to get your opponents and you turn your pieces a certain way so you can actually go after your opponents. It's pretty cool little game. I have not done an episode on this yet, but it is ploy. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I can fit much more in there. Let me see here. Okay, it's too tall. Okay. Oh, maybe I can fit in there. Yes, there we go. There you go. See? That's why I'm horrible at Tetris. But sometimes packing the stuff I can do it. Will this fit in there too? Before I introduce it? Nope. This will not fit, so I'm not going to introduce that yet. And I think we're done with that next one. I don't think there's any other ones here because these are a lot bigger. Yeah, we're going to go and seal this one up. Oh, here's Poki. This is a small one. I don't know how to play this. I don't know how to play it, and I got to learn how to play it. You see this everywhere. I've seen this all over the place. I think I got this at an estate sale. I have no idea how to play this. But I would love to learn how to play it. I need to look it up and find out how to play. But Poki. I hope I said that right. Okay, and I think that's going to be all for that. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next box. Okay, here we are in the second box, or actually the second medium box, third box total. And first we're going to start off with Last Chance. Risk on each roll, live on the edge, play the game. This I have done an episode on, so if you're interested in knowing how to play this one, this is a great game to play. It's very similar to Yahtzee, and similar to Yahtzee. Not exactly Yahtzee, but it is a great game to watch. So go ahead and check out that episode if you want to. If you're interested in learning how to play Last Chance, I have it on there. I also have Jackpot Yahtzee. Win big with a little luck and a lot of strategy. This one, I have not done an episode because I wanted to do my Yahtzee series. I definitely want to get to that. So we got Jackpot Yahtzee. Okay. I can feel we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the end here. It's like, woohoo, yay! Money, money, money. Let's check this game out. Very interesting game. If that doesn't get your attention, money, 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 nothing will. As you can tell by the cover, it is a pretty old game. It is by Whitman Games. Let's see, does it have a year on this? Unfortunately, I did buy this at an estate sale and had looks like a little water damage here, unfortunately. 1957 is when this one was born. Or born. I guess you could say it was born then. It was Money, Money, Money. I have not done an episode on that yet, so. Okay. Cant Stop. This is an amazing game. I actually watched Matt Wilkins. He's awesome. He does a lot of vintage games and whatnot. I highly recommend you check out his channel. Yeah, this, I remember first time I've always heard about the game and didn't really know too much about it when I first started getting back into the board games and stuff. And when I watched his channel, I saw this, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta find it. And I did find this over at Savers, believe it or not. I think it was like $4 or $5, which this game does go for some money. And so I thank him for that. And he was the first one I saw that had this game on there. And great game. It's on BGA too, BoardGameArena.com. You can actually play it on there as well. And it is a load of fun. So highly recommend you do this. I have done an episode on this, so if you do want to watch it to figure out how to play, check it out. Highly recommend. All right, Can't Stop. What a great game. Such a simple game, but it's so much fun. Talk about press your luck. That's the epitome of press your luck. You do press your luck in the game big time. Okay, let's go to Midlife Crisis. Can you survive your midlife crisis? And this is a game. It's still sealed. I found this at a little thrift store somewhere. And I kept seeing it all over the place. And I finally decided to get it. It looks like a kind of a funny game. Midlife Crisis. It's kind of like a roll. I believe it's pretty much a roll and move. Not much to it. I think it was only a couple bucks, so I figured, why not? Okay, then we have Candyland, but it's the Disney Theme Park edition. So this is a pretty cool one. Where you can see on the back, they have little Mickey. Actually, you have the same characters but with little Mickey ears on them. And you can see you have Cinderella, the carousel, you have Dumbo, you have the Diamond Mine, and it's pretty cool. You have the teacups over here. You have the Alice in Wonderland. You have the Cheshire Cat there. Small World boats. They have all sorts of cool things on there. But yeah, it's Candyland. But it is the Disney Theme Park edition. Okay. So the only two Candylands I have, obviously, was the Willy Wonka one that you saw, I think, a prior episode, and then I have the Disney theme park one, just because they're special. Next one, King Me by Ravensburger. This is a pretty cool little game. It's a kind of a play on checkers. I have not done an episode on this one yet. That's going to go in the box, because eventually I will have an episode on it, just like all the other billions of games I've said. But it makes me, it's because I don't rush through. I don't do episodes every single day. I like to kind of take my time, do one here, do one there, and just kind of make it fun. I still have quite a few to go through. All right, let's go through. Let's do. Let's see, which one I want to do next here. Fishing time. Here we go. This is a fishing game. Fishing time. Here we go. It's the Great American Fishing Challenge. You can see there is the way the game looks there. You actually have cards, and you have all sorts of little. I like these little. These are actually little fishing boats. You can see. You can tell it's still sealed. You got little fishing boats. You got dice. You got cards. All that good stuff. Obviously, trying to tournament fishing game for ages 6 and up. So, if you like tournament fishing, there you go. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to. Let's do these Back to the Future Dice Through Time. Here we go. Here. Ravensburger once again. Love these Ravensburger games. I do have both of them. I think I might have already boxed up the other one. Yeah, I think the other one I got, but this is the other one I have, Dice Through Time. I have not done an episode on this yet, so that goes in the box. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see, we're getting to the smaller. Oh, let's do Jurassic Park. That's the same square box here. The Jurassic Park Danger Game. Guess what? Ravensburger. Going through a lot of Ravensburger games here all of a sudden. So Jurassic Park, we're going to put that in there. Ooh, that one barely fits in there. Woo! Okay. Let's see if this one fits in there. Yes, it does. The Game of Hollywood Stars. This is an old one as well. And let's see. This one, it was made in 1955 by Whitman Games. Another Whitman game. The Game of Hollywood Stars. I have not done an episode on that, so you'll probably eventually see that. And let's see. Okay, this one might be able to fit. Let's see if this one fits in there. Yes, it does. Halftime football. You're going to score the winning touchdown. Yeah. See how fun they're having there? He's like, yay, I'm going to roll these dice right on the field. So anyway, yeah, you have offensive dice, kick dice, passing die, and have all sorts of good stuff in there. And you even got the little containers you roll the dice out of. So it's Halftime Football by Lakeside Games. All right. And I think that's all that's going to fit in this medium box. So let's go ahead and head on to the next box right now. Okay, here we are with our, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4th box we're doing right now. And you can see I'm very determined to get this done. So it's been done doing the videos, but I want to be done at least with the games. This will take me a little while, but it's worth it. Can't wait, because we have movers, thank goodness. So you can see I've got boxes up in here too, up in the closet. So not just over here, or you can probably see some of it. Dun, dun, dun. I also have boxes in the living room as well. So I want to finish in here so I can bring the ones in the living room in here. So that way you're not so claustrophobic in the living room out there. So my games have taken over. Okay, here we go. Let's move on. Let's go to, see, we got a little smaller games now too. So let's figure out the best way to put these in there. Let's do Electronic Detective. This was one that I actually found at an estate sale. And this is a really cool little game where you actually have these little, you're the detective and you're trying to figure out who killed, who done it. Over 130,000 murder mysteries. And it's pretty cool. You have like a little file effects here with all the different people that are in the game. And you type in what you think. It tells you what the, I was here, I was there, kind of thing. And it's a really cool little game. Eventually, I definitely want to show this on the channel. I want to play it a couple times to figure it out. I think I got this half price when they were asking for it. It's by Ideal Games. And and you can see, he should look familiar. Get Smart. Yep, he is on the cover, believe it or not. So that's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Next one, Twist. Or Twix, I should say. The ingenious new strategy game for two. This is one of those good old 3M games. Very, very cool. You actually connecting your pieces together. That's really, really cool. It's Twix. I have not done an episode on this, but I know that a few other... Okay, here we go. Let's get a couple of good old classics over here. I got Connect 4. I'm sorry, I got, you know, the ones you could find at Target. I hadn't bought those just because I didn't have the originals. So I was like, hey, I don't even have the originals on these. Sometimes I have these variations, but I don't actually have the actual game itself. Quad dominoes. This is kind of similar to tri-dominoes, but of course it's quad dominoes. So you have 4 on each side. Go ahead and place that in there. Blockus. We got Trigon. This is similar to the Blockus game, but this one actually has different little pieces. Now it's a triangular strategy, where the other ones were blocks. So put that in there. Let's see. Let's put some of these in here. Pyramix by Game Right Games. This is actually a pretty cool one where you have little blocks and you build them like a pyramid. You take one off and then you get certain points for certain blocks that you get. Really interesting game. I think I bought this at, oh yeah, Goodwill. There it is. $3 at Goodwill. See, another, I was being lazy. Didn't take off the price tag. So $3 for Pyramix, but I have not done an episode on that yet, so eventually I will get to that one. We got Flounder. Another one of these good old 3M games. 1962, this one came out. This one looks like a really, really fun game as well. And, yeah, I think I want to say, yeah, I think I've seen a couple people have this on their channel. I have yet to do it yet. You can hear it has a bell. Oh, there you go. You can hear it. Okay. Let's go to a couple of these here. Richie Rich. This is one of my earlier episodes. I think it's like episode 5 or 6 or something like that. Really, really a long time ago I did this one. The Richie Rich board game. Check it out. I have done an episode if you are interested. Okay, there we go. Put that right there. Perfect. We got Buy and Sell. Here's an old one. And by the way, it's with play money. It's not with real money. So just want to let you know that. So just in case you think there's real money in here, it is not. It is play money. Okay. This game, you can tell it's old too, is also by Whitman Games. Okay, do you have an... I like to say the year on these things. It's pretty amazing. Let me go ahead and see if I can find the year on here. I'll see they have the good old-fashioned sticker on the back of these boards. See, very busy-looking board there. Pretty cool looking, actually. Oh, here we go. Here's the instruction booklet. It was made in Racine, Wisconsin, 1953. So that's another one. Look at how tiny the money is. I thought it was like super, super tiny. Then you have the contract cards, which are like super tiny, which I hope these rubber bands have not stuck to those. That's what happens to these rubber bands. And then you got the exchange cards. Everything's just super tiny in this. It's like it's been zapped and been miniaturized. So you're trying the corner of the market. Buy and sell. All right. I have not done an episode on that, so hopefully very soon I will. The Jungle Book game. Here's a Disney game I have not done an episode on yet. It is the Jungle Book game. Check that one out. Okay. So I know I did Winnie the Pooh. I think I might have done one other older Disney game. Okay. Let's do the Fantasyland game. See, now we're hitting the Disney ones all of a sudden here. Fantasyland game. And I don't remember if I've done one on this one or not. I don't remember, but I'll have to double check, see if I have or not. Okay, still closed. Yes. Okay. Oh, might as well. If I'm going to put that in there, might as well put the Monorail game in there. Here's the Monorail. I'm pretty sure I have done an episode on this. I think I have. I want to say yes. But it's the Disneyland Monorail game. And let's look at Gloom. From Disney to Gloom. This is the Gloom card game. It's really cool about this game is I got to put this in a Ziploc baggie, but look at how clear the cards look. These are how the cards look like. Really, really cool. And you have a family of 4, and you're trying to make them as miserable as possible. And you want the most negative points. So you want your family to be the most miserable family with the most negative points. And when they die, that's the amount of points that they end up getting. And if you have the least amount of points in the game or the most negative points, you win the game. So it's kind of similar to golf. Kind of really weird, but I found this on Marketplace about a week ago. And I think $5 they sold it to me for. So Gloom. All right, so I'm going to put this in a Ziploc baggie because this box is not closed very well, and I don't want to be showing up there and the cards are spilt everywhere. That would I would be Gloom if I saw that in my thing. Okay, I think that's pretty much it in here. I don't know if I can fit. You know, I could probably fit. I know I need to rubber band this together. This might fall apart. Squares. This is a very old game. This is when we were trying to get your squares, and you try to get your pieces, and you get points for every one square. Remember those old games you used to play on paper? You go take turns doing one line, and every square that you finish off, you get a point. That's kind of similar to what this is. No year, of course. You can see they taped the heck out of this thing. I found this in a estate sale for literally like $1 or $2. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can rubber band this or do something with it, because I don't want to just dump that in there. Don't want to do that. I don't need pieces flying everywhere. Don't want that. And I think that's pretty much it that's going to go in there, because all the rest of the stuff is a little bigger. So we're going to go ahead and close this box as soon as I take care of that. And I believe I have one more medium box left. I don't know. I might need one more box. I don't know. It's getting pretty close. You can't really fit too many games in here, because they're all different sizes and all different long and short and boxed and square. I mean, it's just, All right, here we go. It's starting to block my view now. All right, so we're going to in our next box here, our final box, and hopefully I don't know if I can fit the rest of these in there, because I have some big ones down here. I don't know if they're going to fit any box. So I'll show you those at the end. And that'll pretty much conclude all my boxings. I hope you enjoyed these episodes, I hope so far. I mean, you got a glimpse of what some of the games I have. I have not done an episode on every single game I boxed. There was quite a few I went through on my own, that I did on my own. So you haven't seen every... I had to keep some games away from me. I mean, yeah, I got to surprise you still on some games. Okay, let's go through this. Abalone. This is a pretty cool game. This is the one with the black marbles, and you're trying to push off 4 of your opponent's marbles. Here's this game here. I think I've recently done an episode on this, showing you how to play this one. This is a pretty cool game. I highly recommend you find this game and get it. Whoa, my goodness. Sounds like the marbles are all over the place in here. My goodness. Well, I'm not going to bother putting them back in there, because they'll probably happen again. So, with all the moving around. And then good old-fashioned Chinese checkers. I found this at Goodwill for, I think it was like $1 or $2. I mean, it was really cheap. It's just a good old-fashioned, Chinese checkers board game. So I thought, you know what? I think it's the same size as that, so I can easily fit that in there. So I figured, why not, you know? Let's see. Got some of these down here. Let's put these down here, so I can actually reach some of these. They're so high up there. Okay, let's go with Acquire. Here is the other Acquire. Remember, I had the newer version, one of the previous boxes. Here is the actual Acquire. This is the, this is the Leisure Time Games here. See, it's this one here. Okay, place that in there. Okay, we got Yahtzee Free for All. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. It's one of those fun Yahtzee games. One of those many Yahtzee versions that are out there. We already know I haven't done that because I haven't done any Yahtzees ones yet. Ninja versus Ninja. This is a pretty cute little game. I have not done an episode on this yet, where you try to go in as far as you can in your opponent's area and come back and you score points by doing so. That was a Goodwill find there. Poker Tiles game. So if you like poker and tiles, this is a cool little game. Obviously you're trying to make hands and whatnot. And yeah, I think this was a Savers find. Go figure that one. Surprise, surprise. We got Dexter, the board game. My wife absolutely loves the TV show Dexter. She absolutely loves that show. Loves, loves, loves. Found this. I can't remember if it was either OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. Found for a few bucks. I don't think they've even played it. All the pieces were still original. They hadn't been punched out yet. So I have not done an episode on that yet. I need to learn how to play that game before I can do an episode on it. Goblet. It's a fun game of strategy. Linda and I have actually played this game a couple times. She absolutely loves it. She loves Goblet. There was a couple times I thought, oh, she's got me, and somehow I managed to pull out a victory. But what a great little game. You have 3 different size pieces, in the small, medium, and large, and you're trying to get 4 in a row. That's all you're trying to do. But the thing is, if your piece is bigger than the other piece that's on there, you can actually gobble it up and put it on top of there. But you got to remember that you did that, because once you take it off, that piece is active again, and you might have your other player win the game. So very simple little game, but a lot of strategy involved. You gotta get your brain thinking there. So Goblet. Double Shutter. Shut the Super Box. This is almost like Shut the Box, but it's a double one. So this is pretty cool when you roll the dice and you try to add the you know, if you roll a 6 and a 3, you can either pull down the 9 or a 6 or a 3. Kind of reminds me of that old game show with Alex Trebek in it. High Numbers. Kind of reminds me of that. It was kind of the same scenario on that. But here's Double Shutter. Okay, put that in there. Perfect. Okay. Then we got The World of Wall Street. This is one of those shaped like a 3M game. It's from NBC. And it's by Hasbro, actually. Hasbro Games. This Wall Street game. All right, I'm going to place that in there. It's funny how they shape these like the 3M game, even though it's not a 3M. Okay, let's see. Can we do this? Can we do this? I'm hoping we can. Here's one I got from my parents last Christmas when Mia was still with us. It's a Pogopoly. We're definitely going to keep this one. Anyhow, this is going to go in the box with us. Obviously, we're definitely not going to get rid of it. We haven't played it yet. It's still sealed. But eventually we'll break it out and, you know, we'll see what happens in Tennessee. We are already kind of talking about... Okay, anyway. I'm just going to move on. Okay, so we got Money Power, the investment strategy game. I have never even heard of this game. I found this at an estate sale. It was only like $1 or $2. I've never even heard of it. And I don't know if I've even found anything on it. So, but it looked interesting. And for $1, why not? So it's Money Power. Hopefully eventually I'll find out how to play it. Let's do these ones. These ones are the fun ones. These are, yeah, they fit. Thinking Man's Golf. This is one of those that kind of comes in a case and it snaps and it unfolds. And you actually play golf. This is a golf version of it. Then you got Win, Place, and Show. This one doesn't seem to want to... Oh, there is no snap. Maybe it's on there wrong. This is a part of the 3M sports games. Win, Place, and Show. It's obviously a horse racing one. And we have Big League Baseball. This is one we played. Oh, that's good. That's the front. There we go. And so this is a pretty cool one. This is what the baseball one looks like here. All right. So we got these three 3M sport games. Okay, I'll put this on the side if I have room for that. Perfect. There we go. Actually, that's a little too high. Put that right on top. All right. There we go. Well, of course, I couldn't quite fit the rest in. That figures. I'm probably 1 box away. Unbelievable. But you know what? I have some small boxes in there. So you know what? I might have to use some small boxes. I don't care. And maybe all I need is a small box. But that takes care of this box here. I'm going to go ahead and slide this aside. Now I'm going to show you these huge boxes. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to box these up or if I'm just going to just throw them in my car. I don't know. I'm not sure. We have Crossfire. This is a huge box that I don't know if will fit in the box. But yeah, this is actually an older game, and they come out with a newer version of it where you're shooting the little balls towards your opponent's little spinners here, and you're trying to shoot the little marble towards your opponent, and you're trying to shoot it into your opponent's little bins over here. So Crossfire, it's a pretty cool game. Pretty cool game. So I'll put that aside. That's one of the big ones. I don't think I'm going to be able to find. Then you have Skyrid. It's the game of shapes and numbers. This is actually a cool game. If you like math, like myself, I love numbers, all that good stuff. And what you're doing is you're putting these on certain numbers. And I wish I could explain it a little better, but when I first bought this, I found it. And this was actually in a little, kind of in a thrift store. It was up in Long Beach. And it was just a store with all sorts of trinkets in it. And they sold me half price on this. I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this would be interesting, but the price, he goes, half price. I'm okay, sold. So, but it's actually really cool. It's like you have different, each player has a different, like I have the white and brown, and I wish I could explain this a little better. I know when I first bought it, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. It's a player to score the highest point total by strategically placing his uniquely shaped playing pieces wins. So all the playing pieces are like little Tetris pieces, but you try to put them in there a certain way. Really interesting little game. So Skyrid is that one. You see the old man. It's funny how the young lady is like all over the old man. I see. Okay. That kind of game. And that's actually by Kenner Games, actually. So, then we have Obsession. Got this from a friend of mine. She had moved and she had a couple games. She actually IM'd me through Facebook. Said, hey, I have a couple games here. Are you interested in, for a few bucks each? I said, okay, send me pictures of what you got. And this was one of them, Obsession. This is actually a pretty cool game where you're rolling dice and you're trying to solidify the numbers, but then your opponents can also push your numbers down. So it's a compelling family game that combines the skill of backgammon, the challenge of poker, and the luck of the dice. Oh, yes. So that is Obsession. These boxes are huge. Here's one that's even bigger. Sudden Death by Gabriel Games. This kind of reminds me of, I don't know how old everyone is there. My Atari 2600, I used to play Chase. Where you go do, and you sit there and you try not to, it's almost like Tron, where you have the line behind you and you're going, and this is the same kind of thing, where you're trying to block your opponent and try to make them run into your snake. That's kind of what this is. But look how big this box is. This is from the same friend that sold me Obsession. She had this as well. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take that one off your hands too. So, I don't know how I'm going to box these up. But anyway, then we got, actually I might be able to fit this in the next box. Shenanigans, the Shenanigans game. This is one of those older ones by Milton Bradley. And I might be able to fit that. I'm not sure. I haven't measured that one. Square Mile. This was one I believe Norm from the Board Game Museum just did an episode on. I remember I mentioned to him, hey, I'm really interested in finding out how to play this game because I bought this at estate sale. Actually, it was an estate sale. And there was a couple other games I was trying to get, and some guy snagged them right before I got there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to love the hunt of an estate sale. I mean, you're in there for something, and you're always trying to look at the photos and trying to figure out what room it's in. Is that in the garage? Is it in the bedroom with the window? I mean, it's funny. I'm weird like that. I know those other people are weird, much stranger than I am. They're like on a mission. And luckily he didn't grab this one. There was two other ones I wanted, but he grabbed those two. But luckily this one was still there, so I grabbed it for a couple bucks. A Square Mile. It's another real huge box. This one I have wrapped saran paper around it because it's very flimsy. So you'll see saran wrap on it. I'll probably use something else to keep it. It's called Oil Power. And this looks like a pretty cool game. It's like with oil. Probably reminds you of King Oil, kind of in sort of a way. But, yeah, I got to be careful with this because it's very, you can tell it's very fragile. But Oil Power is this one. I wish I could open up and show you, but I don't, stuff will spill out of it. And, of course, I know this will fit in the box, but good old Kerplunk. Got to have this. I remember my grandma had this when I was a kid. And I remember playing this game where you one stick at a time you pull out and you got the marbles that come down. Yeah, it was a great little game. So I found this. Someone was selling it for $1. On a Kerplunk for $1, yes, sold. And this is definitely a newer version of it. This is 1995. I know this game goes way back. So this is definitely not one of the older ones, but there you have a Kerplunk. Yeah, I'll go over these last couple games I have here because I don't need to do another box for these. I can, Sequence Dogs. So if you're a Sequence fan, I know I've done Sequence. I've done Sequence Dice. I had Sequence States and Capitals, but I ended up selling that one off. I did want to keep the dog one because, of course, there is a Puggy in there, of course, so we wanted to keep this one. But the Sequence Dogs. Then we have the good old funny party game, 5-second rule. Usually... Wow, okay, that kind of freaked me out for a second. It must be the timer that's in there. I was like, what the heck's going on? It's alive. I don't really keep too many party games. I'm not much of a party game guy, but this is actually a fun game. 5-second rule. Highly suggest this one. Then there was this guy, Corona Chase. It's a social distancing education game. They sent this to me, and it was right around the time where I just was starting to pack. And I was going to show this game off. It is from, let me see here, Glix Games. And I wanted to show this one before I started packing, but now I got the board. The gaming table is full of games that I'm no longer keeping and stuff. So I didn't quite get to this, but I know as soon as I get out there, I definitely want to show this game off because he did send it to me to show it on my channel. So I apologize as a delay. Just caught me right in the middle when I was just starting to move. So I'm going to show this one off. It's called Corona Chase. Potential. I thought this would be an interesting game because my wife is a nurse. This is a prescription for success. So you're actually, in this game, you're actually trying to get prescriptions actually approved and whatnot. I wish there was a picture of the game board, but there's not. And it's still, oh, I still got the sticker on there. That is a saver sticker. $8. And I believe I had a $2 off coupon on this. That's why I got it. But yeah, I've never heard of it before. I think Dice Tower might have something on this. I think that's the only channel I saw that even had this game on there. So we got Patennial. I think that's how you say it. Patent. I know it's like patent with the IAL. Patennial? I don't know. All right. Good old-fashioned probe game. This is one of those old games where you're putting words together and whatnot. So I do have that one. I have not put in a box yet. And finally, I think this is the last one, is Mythology, the game. Here's Mythology. This looks like a very interesting game. This is by, they have the name on here. Oh, here we go. Sabda Toys. Tempt fate and foil your opponent with a rotating game board. So this game board actually rotates around, but you can see the pieces that are inside. You can see there are the pieces right there. It's pretty darn gnarly, huh? Pretty darn cool. Yep. But the game actually moves around. So I have not done an episode on this, but this is one that I definitely was interested in showing. And that's it. I think that's all the games I have left. I think that's, so I think maybe one more box will take care of those. I might just get the small box and just throw them in there. And then these big ones, do I want to spend the money on an extra large box for that? I don't know. I guess it's probably worth it. I know the Oil Power is worth a few bucks. I know that's a very unique game, I've heard. I might just do that, just so everything's in there. So, but anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you going through this adventure with me. And it has been an adventure, I tell you. It's the first time I've had to pack because I just barely started doing this channel in March of 2020, right when that thing started. And yeah, very interesting. So it's the first time I've ever had to pack this stuff up. So very crazy stuff. But we are looking forward to Tennessee like you wouldn't believe. Okay, well, thank you so much. This was the last boxing episode. And yeah, we'll see. If I get any more games between now and then, maybe I'll throw an episode on there showing you these are the games I just recently got. But I might just try to kind of cool it on the buying the games for the last month that we're here. Just because I just don't want to box anymore. There's a lot more other stuff I got to start boxing, so... All right, my friends, subscribers, thank you so much for, like I said, doing this journey with me. And thank you so very much, and I will see you guys soon.